everyone, Pastor Ruth and Pastor Ian here, just to give a quick little update about our trip we did just last week when we were in 2 different countries in Southeast Asia. One of the things that I took away from the trip was just how important it is to realize that the church is so much bigger than just the church here in America. Like church, capital C, church all around the world is full of so many beautiful cultures and languages. And when we were on our trip, we got to spend a Sunday with a local church in Southeast Asia. And it was just so wonderful to worship alongside of them. I mean, there were worship songs in our language, in English, and in their language, and to just fellowship with them afterwards. It was so beautiful. And I think it's so important to remember that what we see in heaven is going to be so much bigger than just our corner of the world. And while yes, we want to reach the people in our corner of the world, we want to reach the people in our backyard, it's still just a really cool, encouraging thought to think that there's going to be so many other people and cultures and languages represented in heaven. And it should just really push us to really champion missions so that we can do that and we can get every language with us in heaven through missions.
Yeah, and a big part of what I took away from our time in Southeast Asia was, while we were in Thailand, a lot of what we did was go around and pray in different temples and pray for different people groups. And as I look back on that and really reflected on our trip and what we were doing, it really helped me to put in perspective how important prayer is for our everyday lives, and especially when it comes to missions. I think a lot of times we think, well, we'll send missionaries and our global impact partners all around the world, whether it be in Cleveland or Southeast Asia, but oftentimes I feel like we forget to pray for them, and it's easy to give money or send people, but making that commitment to pray for people on a daily basis or a weekly basis is a lot harder than you would think. So one of the groups we worked with was called Change the Map. And one of the things they always talked about was how they're trying to raise up intercessors to intercede for the Buddhist world. And their big thing is they want to raise up people who will come alongside them and pray on a weekly basis, even if it's just for a few minutes a week. And as I was in their groups and they were telling us about their vision and their dream of raising up people to pray, it really challenged me to pray more for missionaries and to pray more for groups like the Buddhist people who experience great darkness and are so lost. And I just wanted to encourage all of you to, take some time and pray for our missionaries, pray for their ministry, pray for the people that they're interacting with, that God would open doors for them, and that God would open hearts for them. And also, if you want to check out changethemap.net, they have a whole bunch of resources there, a whole bunch of videos and prayer guides for you that you can join along with people from around the world in praying for the Buddhist world and making that commitment to cover those people in prayer and really taking that fight to God, because it is so much, there's only so much we can do in our physical bodies, but when we have trust in God and we put it in His hands, that's when things can really see change happen. So we had a great time, and it was a really insightful trip for us, and we appreciate all of you who prayed with us and who gave and helped us get there. And we are super excited for how this trip can really shape our missional focus as a church and our approach to how we treat our missionaries and partner with them, not only financially, but through prayer.
When you think about how the church is so much larger than just our corner of America, and how missionaries are out there trying to reach people and partnering with believers all around the world so that so many cultures and languages and people can be represented in heaven, prayer really is such a powerful tool to make that happen. When we had some conversations with missionaries, and they had a God moment with someone who was seeking, whether they were Buddhist or they were atheists or they just didn't believe in Jesus, and they had this moment where they shared and this person understood and they got closer to Jesus. They talked about how they feel like every time that happened, they knew someone was at home praying. They knew there was somebody praying at that moment. So if we truly believe that prayer is powerful and that it matters when it comes to missions, and it matters when it comes to the large global church, I just want to encourage you guys to think about how our prayer life should be more impacted by the rest of the world and our corner of the church. That we should be worried about lots of different things, not just what's right in front of us. So I just want to encourage you to think about that next time you have your prayer time. How can this prayer impact another part of the world?
Hey, it's our hope and prayer that these videos are encouraging you in your faith and the way you live for the Lord every single day. If they are, how about you like, subscribe, share? Find us on our social media platforms at Calvary, Ohio. For more information, you can find us at calvaryohio.org.
When you think about church all around the world and people from...
I wasn't ready. I was making a dumb face when you started.
Ian!
I was staring off into space over there, and I didn't know you were starting.
Do